Most people chase the same big tech stock names, but the real money is made before the crowd even shows up. And it's the same strategy that I use to accumulate an 83% year-to-date performance for 2025 on my main fund account. And so in today's video, I want to share with you 3 hidden growth stock names that you'll want on your radar before everyone else does. Okay? But before I do that, I want to go over yesterday's Skool post here, which you can have access to this community. It's free. It'll be a link in the description box. But we had 2 losers, 2 break even, and 2 winners. Let's go over these breakdowns. Wells Fargo calls were down 18%. This was a call option. We were down 18%. Just didn't work out. Sound shares, we lost 2% on this. Zeta calls, we actually broke even, which wasn't bad at all. INTC, I reduced my exposure on this by 50% because of FOMC. Tech is a little bit iffy at the moment, but we'll see what happens. The winners were Plug, 50% gains in like 10-15 minutes. This was awesome. Made up for more than the losses and made profit. XLE calls, 33% gains. Honestly, this was really good. We trimmed a lot of our exposure on underperformers while banking the gains on Plug and XLE. And the key point to this is to stay disciplined, okay? And it's the same concept for the 3 stocks that I'm about to share with you. It's always about risk versus reward ratio. And that's what these next 3 growth stocks that I'm going to share with you is all about. It's all about risk versus reward ratio. It's exactly how I've been able to accumulate this 83% year-to-date performance. Okay, so let's go over this. The first stock is going to be VSCO. Okay, VSCO is a solid stock. This one actually got introduced to me by my lady. She she told me like VSCO, like Victoria's Secret, is going through all this trend, and so I looked up the stock, and it looks promising. Okay, it looks to have bottomed out. It has been on this downtrend for this monthly time frame for a while now, and it has been going. It's been on a downtrend, but here's something that I actually like about it. This last downtrend did not break below the all-time lows. Okay, so this is really, really good. I like this. Actually, it kind of touched it, right? So it's almost like a double bottom if you want to look at it that way. But it's gaining momentum on the monthly and on the weekly chart. Okay, so what I want to see is this next expansion. We actually got in when this stock was around $24, I believe, or it might have been a little bit sub $24. I'll have to take a look at the logs again. But we have a quarterly expected price target that Gextron actually told us at $31.69. And actually, let's take a look at Gextron. Gextron is the tool that we use to help us figure out entry, support, and resistance levels, and also price targets. And I actually have VSCO right here. There were some calls here yesterday for $27 calls here at $128,000 premium with a sweep order style. Not a whole lot of unusual option orders coming in, but let's take a look at the end of the year target for Victoria's Secret. We have $34.90 as of right now, which I don't have that marked, which is really, really good because it puts the target a lot higher. Okay, I'm actually going to change this to end of the year target right here. So you could do it as well too. If you're not doing this, you should be doing this as well too. If you're going to be keeping an eye on this, you definitely want to keep these levels marked on your chart. Okay, so as of right now, and I can even actually see when we got into this. Let me see, VSCO. Yeah, we got in around 24.37, and I put a B4 bucket in there. That's just B4 is just a code name for a longer term perspective, a monthly perspective. So from 24.37, because we have a monthly outlook on this, not a daily time frame, not a short term expiration. We want the bigger picture here. So around 24.37, which was around here, we have about a 43% upside momentum to this potential good to this trade at the moment, right? And that's what it's all about. It's always about risk versus reward ratio. Let's just mark this here. So I believe my stop would have been around this area right here. And the target, the main target is going to be the end of the year target. So that is, as of right now, 42% potential upside. Right now, the shares are up about 20%, I believe, since we got in. Yeah, they're about 11%. They were at high of 15%, but this is it, right? We're willing to risk 4% of a drawdown, but we're going to go for a 10% gain potentially, right? 4.8%, a 43% gain. That makes it a risk reward ratio of 8.88%, which is really, really good. Again, I always talk about this in the community, in all the videos, that if you ever want to win in this game, if you ever want to get similar results like this, or like Skool, or like Deborah, or like Agent, or Aaron, it's always about risk versus reward. There's a lot of times in the market where it will be stale in your portfolio, but that's okay, or a slight decline. And that could be drawdown days, weeks, or periods. But the main goal is to always have a low risk, high reward setup. Okay, make sure that the reward setup is always higher than the what you're willing to risk. Okay, and that's what allows us to have profitable end of the years and outperforming the S&P 500 by 7 times, right? Or 4 times, whatever the math to that is. Okay, so this is trade number 1, VSCO. This is one that you still have a lot of time. You still have room for a 28% gain on this stock. I would just keep your loss a little bit smaller. Okay, and the level to keep an eye out for last level of support is really 24 now. Okay, so 24. If it loses 24, then it's no longer viable in my opinion. And so if you were to get in now, you have a 2.38 risk reward ratio, which is not super great. It's not what I recommend. 3 is a minimum. So I would actually up this all the way to probably the current tallest level of support, which is 26. Okay, 26. If it cannot hold 26, then I would get out. Now this makes your risk reward ratio pretty much around a 9. Okay, which is great. Okay, that's what you want to do. So if you ever wonder, like, well, Ruben's in this trade, can I get in this trade? Just ask yourself, where's the risk versus reward ratio? If you already missed the first entry, then just adjust the stop loss to make sure that you have a high risk reward ratio, which does not mean high risk, high reward. It just means low risk, high reward when you have when the ratio is very high. Okay, so that's all that means. All right, so this is trade idea number 1. Keep this on your radar. It has plenty of room to the upside, and if it does hit the new expansion, okay, we're looking about a $50 all the way to $50. I'm going to consider selling some profits around this end of the year target because it could pull back, and then I'll hold my runners or the rest of my position for a potential 96% upside move. Okay, something to keep in mind. The next ticker we're trading both options and shares is Upstart. Okay, Upstart is going to be a great growth stock here for the upcoming interest rate cuts. At the moment, the market's a little bit stale. It's a little bit weak just due to hasn't been priced in. Okay, we're probably more than likely as of today, September 17th, going to get interest rate cuts when Powell speaks. More than likely. It's a very, very high chance. Now, if the market does fall down for Upstart may come down with it. But that does not change the outlook in the grand scheme of things. Long-term wise, the Upstart is going to be one of the companies that benefits from interest rate cuts. It always has. Ever since they've been announcing interest rate cuts, Upstart had this huge trajectory to the upside all the way to $86 because it increases their revenue, their EPS. Overall, the company is going to do much better. If you don't know what Upstart does, it's a lending company. And when you cut interest rates, it makes borrowing money cheaper for people, for businesses, for consumers, whatever the case is, which will ultimately lead to more business for Upstart. And they do utilize AI at the same time to optimize their business. This is a great stock to keep in the long term. And if we take a look at their projections here for earnings, let's just take a look at Upstart here. Okay, Upstart. They are going to be EPS positive for the upcoming quarters. You do not want to miss this opportunity. This is one of those tickers that is a high growth stock. It does, when it faces a pullback, you will feel it, but in the long term, it will do well. And if we take a look at their annual forecast, they're going to go from this year a 37 EPS high to a 1.6, then to a 3 by 2027. That is an enormous amount of growth year over year. We're looking at more than double. This is an insane amount of growth in just a span of 2 years, and you do not want to miss this opportunity. Keep this on your radar. So if you're wondering, is it too late? No, not at all. You could put this on your position. You could start a small position if you want, and on some pullbacks, add more to it. But in my opinion, this is a long-term hold for the next couple of years. You do not want to miss this one at all. Upstart is by far my favorite. And when you look at the long-term trajectory of this stock used to be a $350, $400 stock. This has a lot of room to the upside, and it will be very fascinating to see how this unfolds over the years as interest rates continue to keep getting cut. Okay, so that's stock number 2. Stock number 3 is IonQ. Now this is a growth stock that I'm a big fan of, and as of right now, we are in shares and leaps. The leaps are about 130% in profit at the moment of this call, and the shares are up over 35%, I believe. Okay, IonQ is one of those companies that has a moat to them, which I really like. Now, their growth, their what do you call it? Their EPS is not great at the moment. It will have some more drawdowns, which I'm okay with. When I think about the long term of this company, I'm okay with the drawdowns. This is almost like Amazon at the time. But what they do have is that they are a quantum computing company, and their moat is that they own the hardware and they own the software, which is exactly how NVIDIA was winning. That's how NVIDIA had their moat, because they were the top dog in GPU and in AI. So they had their own software and they had their own hardware, which made them extremely profitable and boomed. That was their moat. Same case for IonQ. The next thing after AI will be quantum computing. I mean, I've been in the space of software engineering for more than 15 years. And I can tell you that quantum computing is going to be the next big bubble after this whole AI shifts. Quantum computing will be the next thing, and IonQ will be solving business problems that no one else will be able to. They will be ahead of the game, in my opinion. And again, it's just an opinion on their growth and the long-term outlook. But when it comes to now using the Gextron levels, okay, so let's just take a look at IonQ here. And again, if you want access to Gextron, there is a free plan tier that I will be releasing more invite codes here in the upcoming future. Just make sure to sign up to the Skool community so you can see when I make that announcement. Okay, but as of right now, when we've taken a look at just the option pricing and what Gextron is telling us that we have big support resistance at 65 right now, big support level at 60. That after 65, we can see 70, okay? And the price target for going into January has been changed. Now the anticipation is even higher. It's no longer, I had an end of the year target originally at 57.68, but with it doing so well, now people are starting to catch up, and you should do it. You should get in here before everyone else does, okay? Because it's still early, in my opinion. right? NVIDIA was a small stock before the massive rally it had over the last couple years, right? The end of the year target is 91.13, okay? And you can put that level here. I'm actually going to duplicate this level because when we hit new levels, I like to just keep track of the new ones, okay? I don't want to change it. I just want to see where, if it hits the new level now. So 91, that's just based on what Gextron is telling us. And I'm actually going to say this PT2. I'm going to say PT2 because that's the second end of the year price target, which it can definitely happen. Okay, it blew the expectations of the first one. Now the expectations on market participants, it's even higher. We're going to see if it can capture that move. And this is one, again, it can definitely see 90. It can definitely see 100. In the day, this is where it's going to get interesting with IonQ. I don't foresee IonQ being, if it is the leading company and their revenue and their business grows, their growth on EPS will not be negative. The day they announce that they are EPS positive, it will change the game for IonQ. It will be game over for everyone, for this, and everybody who missed out on this. If you didn't get into this, you will regret it. This will be the early days. So keep an eye out. They do have some, Q1 will be their worst quarter, and then they will see better growth going into Q2 of next year. That's why for us, this is inside the Telegram group, this is a long-term play. We have leaps for 2027, and we have shares. The shares we plan on just adding when the dip is appropriate. For the IonQ leaps, it's a little bit different. We'll end up rolling them out to 2028, so we can just have some more time to capture this entire growth that we foresee for IonQ. Okay, that is the 3 growth stocks that you need to put on your radar and make sure that you get in before everyone else does, because nobody's seeing this, nobody's talking about it. People think that they think that you got to put your money in the mega caps, but there's no growth there. Okay, these are the stocks you want to look at. All right, if you have any questions on Gextron or the community, there's some links in the description box. If you have any questions about what I just talked about the growth stocks, about trading, whatever the case is, or you just want to say hi, leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you on the next one. Peace.